Hi guys, Dino here. What a nightmare of a week I have had. I will tell you all about it. It's coming up right after this. What's up guys, Dino here. Welcome back to my racing channel. Oh my goodness, what a week I've had. Yep, you probably noticed I've not been here for a week. You probably thought I'd flown back to Florida. Oh my goodness, absolutely. Before we get on to that, can I just thank another 2 new subscribers to the channel. I've not even been on, but you 2 ladies or gents have been looking at the channel. You obviously like what you see. And does it surprise me that you've joined? Absolutely not. I really do appreciate it. Thank you to the 2 new subscribers. Very, very much appreciated. Thank you. What can I say? What a week to have your internet down. That's it in a nutshell, ladies and gents. The whole street was out with internet. Nobody had any internet till about Saturday afternoon, which obviously by that time Ascot was over. So I was having to watch Ascot on my mobile phone. I couldn't do any videos. It was an absolute nightmare. That is it in a nutshell. I couldn't get onto the computer because it obviously didn't have any internet. Dearie, dearie me. I couldn't believe it because right after, I think, the first race, was it the second? No. I think Nassif was running that day on the Tuesday. He was one of the naps. Obviously, stormed in, as I thought he would have. And then right there and then, I was ready to come on. There was no internet. Absolutely nothing in the street. So it took obviously 4 or 5 days to get the internet sorted. And then eventually we got it back on Saturday afternoon, which obviously by then was too late to come on and do videos for Ascot. At least I got to see Ascot. Honestly, it was just so bad. So bad. I couldn't believe it. The first day at Ascot and boom, no internet. I couldn't believe it. Really, I mean, don't get me wrong, Ascot was fabulous. No crowd, but absolutely fabulous. And that little man again, Frankie Dettori, the last day on the Saturday, was it 3 or 4 winners? Unbelievable. Just unbelievable. He's some man. Absolutely some man. I hope you, ladies and gents, didn't miss me too much. But yeah, there was nothing I can do. No internet. Ascot was brilliant. Even though there was not anybody there crowd-wise, it was brilliant. Brilliant. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through some of the races just briefly. Ones that I thought stood out, and there was many races that stood out. Many horses that just ran absolutely superb. Absolutely superb. So I'll just go over some of the races, and then I'll give you a wee tip at the end. All right. So here we go. Here we go with the first one. 225 Ascot, Frankly Darling. We all seen it running at Newcastle, winning by 5 or 6 lengths. Was I on it? Yes, absolutely was on it. I thought Passion might have been the danger to it, but in the end it was Eniston that came out second. Another one of Aidan O'Brien's. But Frankly Darling, in my opinion, fabulous horse. Fabulous horse. Running on good to soft as well. It's won it by a length and 3/4, but I think we all saw if I'd came on, that would have definitely been one of the tips. Frankly Darling, because of the way that it run at Newcastle. Frankie was on at this time. Yeah, I think that was possibly maybe a little bit of a no-brainer for Frankly Darling as a tip. But in the same race, Miss Yoda, I was a wee bit disappointed with Miss Yoda after the way it ran before. But that's racing for you. But certainly a good start for Frankly Darling 2 runs, 2 wins. You can't ask for any more than that. And that's a Group 2 in its belt. So that'll probably push up to a Group 1 next time out. But yeah, frankly, darling, I'm sure that was one of the ones that we spoke about putting in your notebook. And there we are. Certainly came out and won again. So a good race. Good race. Next one we will look at will be a 3:35 at Ascot. I think this was an absolute no-brainer. You don't need to tell me, get me to tell you that Batash, in my opinion, wasn't going to get beat. Blistering pace. Group 1, 5 furlongs over soft, which I thought might have been a wee bit of a disadvantage, but it's won it by 2 1/4 lengths. It's won it easy. Equilateral certainly ran a better race over 5 furlongs, which was surprising after running the week before in the Coronation Cup. But Batash, you just can't take it away from the horse. It's been due a win at Ascot, a Grade 1, and I was absolutely over the moon. Over the moon for Batash. Would that have been one of the tips? Probably, because I probably would have gave you 2 or 3 tips, but I certainly would have. I did do Batash, I must admit. But a good race, absolute explosive pace, and won it quite comfortable in the end. And I'm sure a lot of people were on Batash. Next one up at Ascot, 4:10 Ascot. Nazif, our friend. That was tipped last week by myself, not last week, week before, by myself, which won at Kempton. There was absolutely no way I was going to go against it, even though it slightly drifted in the betting from 3-1 to 100 to 30, and a lot of people were obviously backing Queen Power for Michael Stout, which is absolutely understandable. But yeah, Nazif, again, it's only won by that head. It's like the horse just did enough in front. But I must admit, when it was coming near to challenge Agincourt, in my opinion, there was only going to be one winner, and it was going to be Azif, as much as it did only win by a head. Agincourt's won a belter of a race to finish second, and Queen Power to finish into third, which has ran a really, really good race as well for Michael Stout. But Nazif, would that have been one of my tips? Absolutely. Absolutely. There was no way I was going against Nazif. That alone, Group 2, that's obviously going to step up to a Group 1. Will the Group 1 maybe just be that wee bit far for it? We don't know. But certainly the mile suits it down to the earth. Absolutely. Couldn't go any further than that, I don't think. Alright, so Nazif, great performance, 2 wins out of 2, and straight into a Group 2, and it wins that as well. Brilliant. I hope a lot of you, ladies and gents, were on. Next race was on the 18th of June. What can we say? Stradivarius, pointless, absolutely pointless backing this, unless you've got loads and loads of money, which I haven't. But I think this was another no-brainer. Stradivarius to win the 2 mile 4. A lot of people were talking about the soft ground. It's won on soft ground before. I didn't see that being an issue, to be quite honest. It was by far the best horse in the race. And a lot of people were having doubts on the soft ground. I didn't think so. If you're a brilliant horse like what this is, it's won 2 Gold Cups already. That was its 3rd. And there you go. It's won it by the length, probably the length of a furlong. It was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So I just sat and watched that race. Didn't put any bets on that race at all, because to me it was Stradivarius was going to win it, in my opinion. Brilliant horse, great spectacle. Frankie again. Yeah, it was cruise control, wasn't it? Next race up that we'll look at Ascot on the same day as Stradivarius. This one, Calusi, I did. Yes, I had that as well. As a lot of Jim Crowley's rides, which he had 5, 6 winners, a lot of them were for Hamdan Al Maktoum. And Calusi, I thought, travelled absolutely brilliant in the race, over a mile. travelled brilliant in the race, and just the turny foot of the horse to just go away within about maybe 100 yards, 150 yards, pulled away, won it by 4.5 lengths. I was really impressed. Really. As much as Stradivarius and others that caught the eye, this was the one for me that definitely caught the eye. I know it's only in a handicap, only in a Class 2 race, but it's won over a mile, and it's won it absolutely hands down. So, notebook time, Calusi definitely, certainly won't be running another Class 2. I'll be very surprised if it doesn't go up to a listed race, possibly a Group 3 race. Didn't have a problem with the soft. Going by its action, I don't think it'll have a problem in running in good ground. So, yeah, very impressed with Calusi to win that race, the Heritage Handicap, the Britannia Stakes, winning it by 4.5 lengths. Jim Crowley again, cool as a cucumber. Cool as a cucumber. Travelled brilliantly in the race and won it by 4.5. One to put in the notebook, ladies and gents, Calusi. Next up, we will look at this race, which is the next again day. The Queen Vaz Group 2. I was all over this. All over this. As you know, ladies and gents, I watch your At the Races and Racing UKs and Racing Post, read everything. I'm on top of a lot, looking at a lot of horses. Santiago, I thought, would win this race. That certainly would have been one of the tips for me of the week. Not just for that day, but of the week. As they were saying on At the Races, Aidan O'Brien had this one. He thought he had this one ready for and prepped for this race. You can't go against that. You look at its form. It doesn't only have... that was its first run, actually, over 1 mile 6 in the soft. And again, it's won it quite convincingly as well. Cruising, travel brilliantly in the whole race. And then Ryan's popped to question a couple of furlongs out. It came through and it's kept at 2-3 lengths over Berkshire Rocco. And if you remember, Berkshire Rocco, the last horse to beat Berkshire Rocco was only the other week there, and it was English King. So they're now talking about Santiago possibly going to the Epsom Derby. And just on that point of English King, it's just been announced today, and I actually feel a little bit sorry for Tom Marquand, who won on English King at Lingfield by that distance of 4.5 and put the horse favourite for the Derby. He's been taken off the horse, and Frankie Dettori has now got the ride on English King. There is no way on this planet, if that was shown at 72 for the Derby, that will get slashed now because Frankie's on it. So Frankie's got the ride for it. I feel sorry for Tom Marquand. I think he's a good young jockey, but they've obviously wanted a little bit more experience because it's the Derby, and they've went for one of the top guys in Frankie. He's nodded ahead and says, yes, I'll have that. Thank you very much. Will it win the Derby? I think there's possibly 5 or 6 horses in there that could win the Derby. Do I think it'll win it? I think it will win it. I think English King will win the Derby. That's my preference for the Derby. I certainly will be having a look at it in the next couple of weeks. But yeah, I felt sorry for Tom Marquand. Tees came off it, or they put Frankie on it, and it's an absolutely belter of a ride for Frankie in the Derby. I think he's only won it a couple of times, so cross the fingers, this could be his third. But yeah, back to Santiago. Really good ride for Ryan. Cruise control all the way around. 2 furlongs out, popped to question. It's won it by almost 3 lanes. Very, very good ride. Want to put in the notebook? Absolutely. Santiago, for me, goes right into the notebook. And the last one, and then we'll go on to the tip, because I'm sure you ladies and gents have missed me that much. Palace Pier, Pinatubo, Wichita, Positive, Threat, Arizona. We've seen these horses only in the last week or so. Did I do Pinatubo? You bet your bottom dollar I did. I certainly did Pinatubo in this race. Now, on this race, you can't fault the winner. You can't fault, to a degree, Pinatubo. You can't fault Wichita, because Pinatubo and Wichita have only finished literally a nose. This time Pinatubo turned it around, but it was only by about a nose. Palace Pier has won it by a length. But Pinatubo, out of all the horses in that race, Pinatubo to me has got the best turn of foot. And that horse, it's like, once it gets to the front, it doesn't want to go any further. So to me, that's twice Pinatubo. It's been ran in Newmarket, up with the pace to a degree, maybe sitting in second or third. Then it's been run at Ascot at the back, and then came into the straight and made a dash for it. In my opinion, Pinatubo needs to sit round about halfway in the pack, whether it's 5 runners, whether it's 10 runners, just sit. And furlong and a half out, then let it go. Because he's asked it far too much. As soon as he come into that straight, he pushed for it and he tried to sort of hold it up slightly, but it was too fast. It's like once it gets to the front, it stops. So this, to me, Pinatubo needs to be ridden possibly the way he rode it there, at the back, midfield. That's maybe where I would put it, in midfield. And then with a furlong and a half out, then let it go. Because anything from 2 furlongs and outwards, which is what William Buick done here, it's like the horse gets, as soon as it hits the front, it stops. So he's going to have to land that Pinatubo on the line. As a 3-year-old, we all seen what it done as a 2-year-old when it was running races. Some races it was running by 3 and 4 and 6 lengths. Other races, like say when it was in the mud against Arizona last year, it only won it by about, I think it was a half a length or a length. But in my opinion, this horse needs ridden positively, sit in midfield, furlong and a half out. It's got an electric turn of foot, and then let it go. So I was a little bit disappointed, to be quite honest. Palace Pier, can't take nothing away. It's won the race. It is a good horse in a Group 1. Can't ask for any more than that. Pinatubo, that's 2 races, 2 seconds. In my opinion, they either put I think James Doyle would probably be better on the horse. I'm not saying William Buick's did anything majorly wrong, but I think James Doyle would be probably suited more to Pinatubo. The way that it runs and the way that he rides his horses. He's a good hold up, and then burst. As you probably seen him on Summergand, when he was on Summergand, he just let everybody else do their stuff in front. And as much as he got beat, the pace the last furlong and a half, Summergand just got pipped on the line. And it was probably a good five lengths down at that time. So my opinion, I think James Doyle should get a shot on Pinatubo. I think he would ride it probably better. And I think next time, hopefully, it wins its race. That it probably definitely deserves. All right. Pinatubo, don't turn your back on that, ladies and gents. Absolutely not. Now, to the tip. And the tip is for tonight. The 8:30 at Windsor. I've had a look at the racing for tomorrow. Pretty poor, if I'm being honest. Wednesdays, there are 2 or 3 races that are Class 3 races, which are slightly better races, but tomorrow's racing is pretty poor. It's Class 5s and Class 6s, and there's a lot of newcomers in there as well. So today's tip is going to be in the 8:30 at Windsor. Now, I had a look at this race. I think the betting's got it right. I think Persian Beauty should be favourite. Mr. Doyler's on it. Tralee Hills, second favourite. Air Force Amy is third favourite, and it's 91 bar the rest. If you want a dark horse in this, a dark horse to me would be Bombero. So if anybody's looking for anything with a big price, Bombero probably each way, because there is 9 runners in it. So Bombero each way, if you're looking for a bigger price, it would probably be my choice, would probably be Bombero. But my tip for tonight in the 8:30 at Windsor will be Persian Beauty. I know there's probably a lot of you ladies and gents out there saying, it's a favourite, it's 11 to 8, it might get backed in. In my opinion, it probably will get backed in at 5 to 4, even money. It's last race if we have a look at it. Now, first of all, as we always do, we look at the sire, Dubawi. You can't get any better than Dubawi. Out of Barathea, which is another quality horse. Simon Christopher's horses at the moment are running quite well just now. There's its first race, the 2nd of June this year, which was only a couple of weeks ago. It'll be stripped fitter, certainly, for this race. This was over 1.4 miles at Kempton. Beaten into third, certainly beaten just over 5 lengths. But when you look at that race, as I have looked at the race, Galsworthy's, obviously it's John Gosden and Frankie Dettori. You certainly won't see that running again in a Class 5. In my opinion, that'll probably maybe go up to a Class 3, Class 2. Its overall rating, Galsworthy in that time, was an overall rating of 80. That is important in this race, which I'm going to show you. It's been beaten 5 lengths into third. Led, ridden 2 furlongs out, headed over 1 out, no extra final furlong. Its first run, you would probably expect that from a lot of horses, unless they're absolutely spot on fitness wise. But Galsworthy in this was overall rating of 80. It's been beaten 5 lengths. It is over a distance today of, I think it's 1 mile 3 and 1 mile 3.5 furlongs at Windsor today. It is on the turf. And as we see, 0 to 75, it's a Class 5 handicap. And this is Persian Beauty's first time in a handicap. It's only got 8 stone 12 on its back. It's got an overall rating of 66. Yes, there's other ones in there that have got overall ratings of 75. But in my opinion, I would be very, very surprised if Persian Beauty gets beat here. Just because of its weight, it's ran up against a good horse in Galsworthy. Is there a Galsworthy in this race? I don't think so. I don't think so. My opinion. I've had a look at Air Force Amy's run, finishing 5th. That'll certainly come on for the race. Plus you've got a claimer on it, which takes £7 off the horse's back right away. So that's really running off in 9 stone. Tralee Hills, Tom Marquand, as we were talking about earlier. That last race, it's won. It had 9 stone 9 on its back. It's £3 less, but it's up a couple. I think it was 72 overall rating. It's now put up to a 74. But I think if you're looking for an improving horse, the improving horse in this race, in my opinion, is Persian Beauty. I do think it will win tonight. So that's what's going to be my tip for today, the 8:30 at Windsor. It is only going 2 o'clock, so there's plenty of time for you, ladies and gents, to have a look at this race, see what you, ladies and gents, think. The going is good, isn't a problem for Persian Beauty. So that's my tip for tonight. The 8:30 at Windsor is going to be Persian Beauty, James Doyle. It's the last race on the card. Is James Doyle going to be there just for the sake of it, riding in the last race? I don't think so. I think Persian Beauty will win tonight. I will be surprised if it doesn't. Alright, I'm back, ladies and gents. Not my fault. It was all down to, as normal, blooming internet problems. I can only apologise. I can only apologise. There was probably a lot of you, ladies and gents, saying, what's happened? What's happened? Where's the tips coming from? Remember, this channel has a 71.4% strike rate with horses finishing in the first 3. Unbelievable strike rate, in my opinion, not just because it's my channel, but if you go out there and if there's other horse racing channels, which there is, and I've got more subscribers than what I have, but I will not believe that they have anything close to a 71.4% strike rate on horses that finish in the first 3. Alright? Anyway, that's it from me. A long video, but it had to be a long video because I had to explain to you loyal subscribers, and I know there's still a lot of people out there looking at the videos. You need to hit that subscribe button. You need to hit that bell. You'll get all notification of all my videos when they come out. Alright? Have a good day. Hopefully a lot of you will get this video, because I'm going to put it out in the next 20 minutes or so. So there's plenty of time to have a look at the video and the rest of the videos. Thank you to the new 2 subscribers that's joined. Very much appreciated. Will I be back tomorrow? Yes, I'll be here. As long as the internet doesn't go off. Take care. Speak to you all soon.